Okay, so I'm going to talk about how to actually program a robot. I understand. I presume that you understood the previous videos, how to use the robot, and then how to use the the teach pen and the basic operations of it. That's all you need at least for now to to quickly start on to the project. But eventually, you have to learn about the different functionalities the FANUC robot has to offer you. Okay, so quickly I'm going to show you how to actually program a robot. By programming a robot, I'm basically telling you how to teach a robot to actually do a particular task you want it to do. It might be go to a particular position, pick some part, and then place it into CNCs or any other task you plan to achieve. So that's called as programming a robot or teach a robot. So here, fine. I'm gonna show you. It's in program name. The home screen for the program itself. How to these are the various options for me to actually program the robot. But again, I'm going to show you quickly how to go back to the home screen, no matter whichever screen you are. So if you are in any particular screen, just type menu, and then you have your menu options come up over here. Just press the utilities over there, just press enter, and then you'll be back to your home screen. Once you're in the home screen, you basically know. Again, see, I'm not holding the dead man switch, which I'm supposed to. So it says dead man switch to release. I can't operate anything. It says shift. Even if I try to, I can't operate anything. Hold dead man to job. So technically I have to hold the dead man switch between, like it's told you, between half the configuration, in between position, not fully open and not fully closed, right in between. So once I started holding the dead man switch, I'm gonna go back to here and then reset the fault again. I'm gonna shift and then reset. Once the fault is resetted, and see, whenever you start the robot, it's going to be a 10% by default. So I'm going to decrease the speed. You can either use shift or just decrease by incrementals of this thing over here. So once you are here, to program a robot, press select. Once you press select, you have the already created programs, and then each program is given a name and any comments on that. So, and here I'm gonna go back. We're gonna create a program. We're not gonna go any program right now. So here again, you have 5 blocks over here. I'm just gonna press create is for F2. I'm gonna press F2, and then program name. It's gonna ask for program name. So enter program name. You can directly say they are basically default words for you. It's PRG's program, main, or sub program, or a test program. So I'm gonna select program over here. Once this PRG appears over here, and then if I want to use any of these things, I'm gonna say enter. Okay, I just released the dead man switch, so I'm gonna shift reset again. The fault is resetted, and then yeah, we just created a program. It's saved under 61 according to your alphabetical order, and then it's PRG. So once your program is created, you press enter there, and then so basically you don't have any lines to work on it, so you have to create entirely for yourself. So you are offered 2 particular options for you. One is instructions, so that basically shows you registers, IOs, if statements. So basically you can do any of these particular programs, which we are not going to do right now. So that's instructions for you. I'm going to go for EFT. So EDMCD, it's basically miscellaneous things. You press enter. Basically here each step of a program in the FANUC, it's very much user friendly. So you have each particular line for the robot to move to that particular position. In order to say it has to move from one point to another point, 1 to 2, so there'll be one particular line for it. So here, how many lines do you want to insert? Just say 5 lines, and then I'm just pressing enter. I have 5 different lines, so I can just navigate between the lines using these keys. Once I'm here, I'm just going to press instruct. This again for the registers and all. I'm going to quickly go back there, and then I have the switch, forward switch. I'm going to press next. Here I'm going to have 2 options, the point and touch up. I'm going to point. So you have 4 different varieties. It's join, point, that's speed. The square boxes are basically new point. 100% is speed and the refinery of the robot arm to actually go there, and then fine is basically fine tuning each of them. So I'm just gonna go for 3, that is linear. Yep. So basically whenever you try to select one point, it automatically says that particular position. Right now the point The robot arm, it's at that particular position. The tool frame is at that. The tool is at that particular position. Once as I press the enter for the type of line I want, it automatically saves that particular position as P1. It's which you can see here. You have L, which is basically the linear position. So say suppose my robot is in a different place, and this position is saved as LAP1. So what it does is, it's when it starts the program, it reads L. Okay, it's linear, so it will go from that point to other point in a linear way rather than taking the shortest distance possible. So it goes in a linear way, and then this is your PR. It's not PR, sorry, it's a position which in this particular frame, that is world, and the coordinate frame which we already did, that is shift. You can know shift coordinate, it is in tool frame 1. That is basically shift, and coordinate, you know which frame it is. Okay, so this point is basically in world and tool frame 1, and this point is only within the bounds of this program. You cannot take this point to any other program or use this point to any other program. You have to again recreate this particular position there. So this is only bound to the particular program. Once we are here, and then you have 100 millimeters per second. This is basically the speed at which the robot has to operate, and this is fine. So fine is basically the accuracy, you can say, to actually achieve that particular point. So we created one point over there, and then I'm going to go for the second point. I'm going to move the robot to a particular height, to different position. Yes, it goes really slowly because it's only at 4%, but please do only use 5 to 10%. Don't go more than that. When you're starting, just go below 5%. So I went to a new different position, and then I'm gonna save this point. I'm saying point, and then I'm gonna go for again the same thing and press enter. This point is actually saved. So these 2 points are already saved. So basically here you have touch up. Touch up is basically kind of refinedly defining that particular position. If I press shift and touch up, it's going to record that particular point again. So you can go to any particular point and then press shift and touch up, and it's going to go do that for you, and then enter. Yeah, if in order to go to the different options, you press next here, because there's an arrow here. Next you get instructions and EMDC, and then next over here. So fine. Now since we created 2-line program over here, what I'm going to do is to run the program manually. To run the program manually, have to whichever line I want to start with, I'll go to that particular line. In this case, I want to start with 1, so I went to 1, which is as indicated by the highlighted black 1 there. So I press shift again and then forward. So you can notice the robot moving to the particular position, to 1 initially, to no matter whichever position it is there, it is moving to 1. That is 1 which we define. So in order for the robot to move, I have to hold shift continuously as long as my robot is moving. If I'm removing the shift, the shift release while running, so the program is not going to execute. The robot is not going to move to that particular position. So I'm going to hold shift again have to give the same command forward. So it's going to move to that particular position there. As you can see, I'm just increasing the speed for you guys. So if you realize, it went to this position 1 and then went to the position 2, which we saved earlier, and then the program ended and it starts again at the first. If it goes to the first highlighted position, and then it stays there until further command. So this is how you actually create a program. Once you start exploring this stuff, you have so many other options to integrating these things, call functions and all, which you will eventually learn. Okay, so you saw how we actually ran the program manually. You should be able, once you're done with the manually, you should be able to do with by calling the same program through a PLC and doing it automatically. But then we're not dealing those things right now, because once you get into all these things and you explore it, you will eventually know, and it'll be too much of details for you guys right now. So yeah, the important thing I want to tell you guys is, once I started creating the program over here, in different lines, if at all I want to change any of this, I want to edit any of these, I just press if say suppose these things, you have your point and touch up, and then you want to go for any other thing, press next, and then press EDMCD, that is the F5 over here. And then if you want to delete anything, you have different options over here. Just press delete, and then it says delete lines. Yes, your point is deleted, that particular line is deleted. So you just have one line over there, and then if you want to create it again, you can just say, next again, point, and then press enter. Go here. I release the dead man switch, so I have to like press it again and then shift reset it once it's all done. I'm going to show you one quick hack over here, and then shift, move to any particular position you want it to. Yes, and then shift touch up. That's basically how your point is recorded. So P2 and P1 are recorded. Say suppose you don't want P1 new point, any other, when you're doing a program, you want the same point to be used. Like you already have P2 at particular position, you want to use the same point, you can actually do it. That's pretty much convenient. So go back here, press the value whichever point you want to, and it, like I'm telling you, these points are only local to this particular program. It is not out of this program. You can never call these points again. So I'm going to type 2 over here and press enter. So I basically have 2 same points. So that's how it is. When you start doing programming and then you will have like 50 lines and all, this might come in handy for you guys. So once this is done, I'm going to take you guys and talk about the tool frames.